The sky turned orange as the massive alien ship broke through the clouds. Kate stood frozen on the military base, watching with the other soldiers. Her hands gripped her rifle tightly, but she knew it would be useless against the visitors. General Diane Foster moved to the front of the formation, her gray hair pulled back in a tight bun. She spoke through a megaphone to the assembled troops. "We do not know their intentions. Stand ready, but do not fire, unless ordered." The alien vessel was unlike anything humans had built. It stretched nearly half a mile long with a surface that rippled like water, catching the sunlight in waves of purple and blue. The ship made no sound as it hovered, then slowly descended to rest on the empty field nearby. For several minutes nothing happened. Then a section of the hull melted away, forming an opening. A ramp extended to touch the ground. Kate held her breath along with everyone else. The aliens emerged, walking with grace that seemed impossible for their tall bodies. They stood nearly 7 feet in height with slender limbs and skin that glowed with a soft blue light. Their heads were hairless with large eyes that changed colors as they moved. Most surprising to Kate was that they all appeared female, at least by human standards. The leader was easy to spot. She wore a silver suit instead of the white outfits of the others and moved with authority. Her eyes settled on the human formation and she raised a 6-fingered hand in greeting. General Foster stepped forward with the ambassador, a woman named Carol Lane, who had been preparing for this moment since the aliens first made contact through radio signals. "We welcome you to Earth, Ambassador Carol," said her voice steady despite the historic moment. "We hope for peaceful exchange between our worlds." The alien leader tilted her head, then spoke. Her voice had a musical quality that seemed to come from multiple places at once. "We are the Vira. We have watched your world for many years. Now we seek alliance." Kate noticed something strange. The alien leader kept looking past the general and ambassador directly at her. Even from this distance, Kate could feel those strange eyes studying her. She tried to remain still, focusing on her training. D2. Discussions continued for hours. Kate remained at her post as diplomats came and went from the ship. Finally, her commanding officer, Sergeant Rita Bell, approached Kate. "The general requests your presence at the ship." Kate felt her stomach tighten. "Why?" "Me unknown, Sergeant. The alien leader specifically asked for you by your genetic signature. They somehow scanned everyone present and requested you by your DNA pattern." When Kate entered the ship, she gasped. The interior was vast with curved walls that seemed alive, pulsing with soft light. There were no sharp edges anywhere. Everything flowed like water frozen in motion. The alien leader waited in what appeared to be a meeting room, though it had no furniture, only raised sections of the floor. Carol, the ambassador, stood nearby looking nervous. The alien spoke. "My name is Nylara Prime, commander of the Vera Exploration Fleet." She gestured to Kate. "You have an unusual genetic pattern." Human Kate Miller. Kate tried to hide her surprise at hearing her name. "How do you know who I am?" Nylara moved closer, studying Kate with eyes that now glowed green. "We mapped all humans in the area. Your genetic structure contains something rare, something we have searched for across many star systems." Ambassador Carol stepped forward. "What exactly are you saying?" The alien never took her eyes off Kate. "Your species is young, barely beginning to understand the universe. But rare individuals like Kate carry genetic markers we call the Starlight gene. It allows for unique neural pathways. That is why we came to Earth. We detected the gene spreading in your population." Kate shook her head. "This makes no sense. I am nothing special. Just a soldier." Nylara made a sound like gentle bells, her equivalent of laughter. "You are much more. You simply do not know it yet. Our scientists would like to study you, not to harm you, but to understand how the gene manifests in humans." General Foster, who had entered silently, spoke up. "That would be Kate's decision, not ours." Over the next days, more Vera ships arrived orbiting Earth. Their presence caused both wonder and fear among humans. News channels showed nothing else. Political leaders argued about how to respond. Kate found herself meeting regularly with Nylara and Vera scientists. They conducted painless tests using light and sound rather than needles or invasive procedures. Kate learned that the Vera society had no males. Their species reproduced through genetic merging, a process they struggled to explain in human terms. During one session, Kate asked the question that had been bothering her. Why me specifically? There must be others with this gene. Nylara placed a cool hand on Kate's arm. A gesture she had learned was acceptable to humans. The gene exists in approximately 1,000 humans, but in you it shows signs of activation. Something that should be impossible without training. The others merely carry it dormant. What does that mean for me? Kate asked. It means you are valuable. Nylara said, some among our leadership believe we should take you and others like you to our homeworld for study and training. Others, including myself, believe we should establish a permanent presence here to guide your species' development. The decision has created conflict. Kate reported everything to her superiors, who grew increasingly concerned. Military leaders feared the worst, that Earth would become a battleground for alien politics, or worse, that humans with the gene would be harvested. What the humans didn't know was that another alien species had followed the Vera to Earth. The Draconians, ancient enemies of the Vera, had detected their fleet and sent scout ships to investigate. When they discovered why the Vera had come, they saw an opportunity. Kate slept in her quarters that night. Alarms blared throughout the base. She rushed outside to see new ships appearing in the sky, their design jagged and threatening, unlike the smooth Vera vessels. Nylara found Kate in the chaos. The Draconians have found us. They seek the Starlight gene for weapons. She grabbed Kate's arm. You must come with me now for your safety and your world's. Kate hesitated as chaos erupted around them. The new ships in the sky fired beams of red light that sliced through clouds. Nearby soldiers scrambled for cover while officers shouted orders. I cannot just leave Earth, Kate said, pulling away from Nylara. This is my home. My people. Nylara's eyes shifted to a deep purple color, which Kate had learned indicated distress. If you stay, the Draconians will find you. They can sense the active gene. They will take you and use you to create weapons that could destroy both our worlds. Deafening explosions shook the ground as one of the Draconian beams struck a Vera ship. The alien vessel's surface rippled, absorbing much of the attack, but still suffered damage. General Foster appeared through the smoke. Kate, get to the bunker now. She glared at Nylara. Your people brought this danger to our world. The Vera commander stood tall. We did not know the Draconians had tracked us. We came in peace. Another explosion closer this time. Kate felt the heat against her face. This is not the time to argue, she shouted. We need to work together or we all die. Foster hesitated, then nodded sharply. What do you suggest? Nylara gestured to her ship. Our vessels have superior shielding. We can evacuate your key personnel, while our fleet engages the Draconians. As they organized the evacuation, Kate felt a strange sensation building in her head, a pressure that grew stronger with each passing minute. She pressed her fingers against her temples, trying to relieve the pain. Nylara noticed immediately. It has begun. The gene is fully activating under stress. The Draconians will sense it growing stronger. We must hurry. They managed to evacuate 50 humans, including key scientists, military leaders, and Kate, aboard Nylara's command ship. Just as they sealed the entry hatch, a Draconian fighter swooped low, firing repeatedly at them. The Vera vessel shuddered, but its living metal absorbed the attacks inside the ship. Kate marveled at the technology despite the danger. The walls pulsed with light, responding to the crew's thoughts more than their actions. Vera moved with purpose, their slender forms gliding through corridors that seemed to shift and adjust to accommodate them. Kate's headache worsened as they ascended into the atmosphere. She could suddenly sense the Vera around her, not just see them. She felt their emotions, their thoughts flickering at the edges of her consciousness. Nylara led Kate to a chamber in the center of the ship. This will help, she said. The room will stabilize your awakening gene. When Kate entered the space, the pain immediately lessened. The walls glowed with a soft blue light that pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. She sank to the floor in relief. What is happening to me? The gene allows neural connections beyond normal human capability, Nylara explained. You are beginning to sense others, their thoughts, their presence. It is overwhelming at first. Kate looked up in shock. You mean I'm becoming psychic? Nylara made the bell-like sound again. A simple word for a complex change. Your brain is forming new pathways, allowing you to connect with consciousness beyond your physical form. The Vera have cultivated this ability for thousands of years, outside the relative safety of the chamber. A space battle raged. The Vera fleet formed a defensive perimeter around Earth, engaging the Draconian ships. Human military forces watched helplessly as alien weapons far beyond their technology exchanged fire in orbit. General Foster joined Kate and Nylara in the chamber. Her face was grim. These Draconians, what exactly do they want? Nylara's expression darkened. They are gene harvesters. They collect unique genetic traits from species across the galaxy, incorporating them into their own DNA. They have pursued the Starlight gene for centuries, and you never thought to warn us, Foster demanded. We believed we arrived before they could detect its presence. Nylara admitted. We underestimated their tracking technology. The ship rocked violently as it took a direct hit. Nylara steadied herself. We cannot defeat them in direct combat. We must escape. Kate stood up suddenly. The pain in her head had changed, transforming into something else, a clarity she had never experienced. I can sense them, she whispered. The Draconians. They are so different from you. Their minds are like fire, consuming everything. Nylara stared at Kate with astonishment. The gene has progressed faster than we predicted. You should not be able to sense them. Yet Kate closed her eyes, focusing on the new awareness. There are 12 ships. Their commander is on the largest vessel. She opened her eyes. I can feel her anger, her determination. She knows I am here. Foster looked from Kate to Nylara in confusion. How is this possible? Nylara approached Kate carefully. Even among the Vera, such rapid development is unheard of. Your human neuroplasticity must be accelerating the process. The ship shuddered again, more violently this time. A Vera crew member entered, her skin pulsing with red alarm patterns. Nylara Prime, the Draconian command ship has locked tractor beams on us. We cannot break free. Nylara turned to Kate. We have one option. Our ship has a genetic resonance chamber. It can amplify your awakening abilities temporarily. It might allow you to disrupt their technology. Is it dangerous? Foster asked. Extremely, Nylara admitted. For both Kate and ourselves, the chamber was designed for fully trained Vera, not humans, especially not one whose abilities are just emerging. Kate straightened her shoulders. I will do it. Foster grabbed her arm. This is not your responsibility. We should surrender. Negotiate. Kate shook her head. I can feel their intentions, General. They do not negotiate. They take what they want. We are just genetic material to them. The resonance chamber was at the very heart of the ship, a spherical room with walls that shimmered with every color Kate had ever seen, and some her human eyes had never processed before. Nylara explained. Quickly, you must enter alone. The chamber will connect with your genetic pattern, amplifying the Starlight gene. The process will be painful. We cannot predict how your human physiology will respond. Kate stepped toward the entrance. What do I do once? Inside focus on the Draconian ships, Nylara said. Specifically their energy systems. The gene allows manipulation of quantum states. With amplification, you might disrupt their technology. As Kate entered the chamber, the door sealed behind her. The walls began to pulse faster, responding to her presence. The air itself seemed to thicken with energy. She stood in the center, closing her eyes. The pain returned thousandfold. Kate gasped, falling to her knees. Her entire body felt like it was being taken apart and reassembled molecule by molecule. She screamed, but no sound emerged. Then suddenly the pain vanished, replaced by awareness beyond anything she had imagined. She could see the Draconian ships, not with her eyes, but with her mind. She could feel the energy flowing through their systems, the thoughts of their crews, the quantum particles that powered their weapons. Without understanding how, Kate reached out with her mind and twisted. The quantum particles responded to Kate's mental command. like playing an instrument she had always known but never touched. She redirected energy flows, reversed polarity patterns, interrupted signal sequences aboard the Draconian ships. Systems failed, weapons powered down, engines stalled, artificial gravity fluctuated. The tractor beam holding the Vera vessel disappeared. Kate could see it all happening. She could feel the confusion and fear of the Draconian crews. She pushed harder, focusing on their command ship, specifically targeting its main power core. In the control room of the Vera ship, Nilara and General Foster watched in amazement as the Draconian fleet drifted powerless. "Impossible," Nilara whispered. "No untrained mind could accomplish." This. Foster stared at the display. "How long can she maintain it?" Nilara shook her head. "Minutes at most. The strain on her system must be enormous." Inside the resonance chamber, Kate felt her control slipping. The expanded awareness began to fragment her. Body temperature rose dangerously high. She struggled to maintain focus on the Draconian ships. A new presence entered her awareness, a powerful mind reaching toward hers. Kate recognized it immediately. The Draconian commander fighting against her. Control. Kate saw her then through this strange new sense. A tall reptilian figure with scaled skin that shifted colors like oil on water. Her eyes were vertical slits glowing red with fury. Her mind pushed against Kate's with centuries of experience. Human. Voice echoed in Kate's consciousness. "You cannot maintain this. The gene's power will burn through your primitive nervous system. Release us." Kate pushed back, sending her thoughts outward. "I will not let you take me or my people." The Draconian commander hissed in Kate's mind. "Your species is nothing. Barely crawling from your planetary cradle. You do not deserve the Starlight gene. It is wasted on such primitive beings." With her remaining strength, Kate forced her way deeper into the Draconian ships, systems finding their navigation controls. She input new coordinates targeting empty space thousands of light years away. The emergency engines on the Draconian vessels activated, responding to the override Kate had created. The ships lurched then, disappeared into hyperspace jumps. Kate collapsed in the resonance chamber. Blood trickled from her nose and ears. Her consciousness retreated, pulled back into her body with painful force. The expanded awareness vanished, leaving her alone and small. When the chamber door opened, Nilara rushed in, lifting Kate's limp form. She carried her to the medical bay where Vera healers immediately went to work. Kate drifted in and out of consciousness for days. While she recovered, the Vera fleet remained in Earth orbit. Their presence now welcomed by human governments who had witnessed their defense against the Draconians. When Kate finally awoke, fully, Nilara sat beside her bed. The alien commander's eyes glowed a soft gold color, indicating relief among her people. "You survived," Nilara said, her voice gentle. "That was unexpected." Kate tried to sit up, wincing at the pain in her muscles and joints. "What happened to the Draconians?" "You sent them halfway across the galaxy," Nilara explained. "They will not return quickly, but they will return. Eventually." Kate closed her eyes briefly. The expanded awareness was gone, but something remained, a heightened sensitivity, a new way of perceiving the world. "Is this permanent?" she asked. "What happened to me in that chamber?" Nilara hesitated. "The chamber accelerated your development dramatically. You accomplished in minutes what takes Vera decades of training. Your human brain adapted in ways we did not think possible." General Foster entered the medical bay, her usually stern face softened with concern. "How are you feeling?" "Kate, like I got hit by a truck," Kate replied, attempting a smile. "You saved Earth." Foster said simply, "Both our military and civilian leadership have been briefed on the situation. The president wants to meet you when you're recovered." Kate looked between Foster and Nilara. "What happens now?" Nilara stood, moving to a viewport that showed Earth below. "The Draconians will return with greater numbers when they discover what happened. They want the Starlight gene more than ever now that they have witnessed its potential. So Earth is still in danger," Kate said. "Yes," Nilara confirmed. "But we have time to prepare." The Vera High Council has voted to establish a permanent presence here to help identify others with the gene. To train them and to prepare Earth's defenses, Kate thought about the others like her. Nearly 1,000 humans carrying the same genetic potential. Would they all experience what she had? Would they be weapons or protectors? As if reading her thoughts, Nylara turned. Those with the gene have a choice, Kate. They always have a choice. The Vera believe in consent above all. The gene's power cannot be forced or coerced. That is why the Draconians fail in their attempts to weaponize it. For the next several weeks, as Kate recovered, discussions between human governments and the Vera continued. The aliens shared limited technology, particularly defensive systems and medical advances. In return, they received permission to establish bases on Earth and begin scanning the population for others with the Starlight gene. Kate became the unofficial ambassador between humans and Vera. Her experience with the gene made her uniquely qualified to understand both perspectives. She spent hours, each day, training with Nylara, learning to access and control her new abilities without the dangerous amplification of the resonance chamber. It was during one such training session that Kate sensed something new. A presence at the edge of the solar system, faint but growing stronger. She opened her eyes, breaking her meditation. Something's coming, she told Nylara. The Vera commander checked the ship's sensors. There is nothing on our scans, it's beyond your sensor range. Kate insisted. I can feel it. A large mass moving toward us, not draconian. Something different. Nylara studied Kate with new respect. Your range has extended further than we anticipated. She activated a communication panel. Extend sensor sweep to maximum range, focus on the outer system boundary. The technician responded moments later. We detect a mass distortion at the heliopause moving toward inner system. Estimated arrival. 48 hours. Nylara's skin pulsed with bands of red concern. Who are they, Kate? Can you sense more? Kate closed her eyes again, reaching outward with her mind. The presence felt vast and ancient, a collective consciousness rather than individual minds. They know about the gene. She whispered, opening her eyes. They call it something different, but they seek it. The Vera fleet moved to defensive positions while Earth governments were notified of the potential new threat. Kate continued training, pushing her abilities further. With Nylara's guidance, she learned to project her consciousness across greater distances to read intentions and emotions from alien minds. 2 days later, the new arrivals appeared, a fleet of crystalline ships that refracted sunlight in dazzling patterns. They took position beyond lunar orbit, making no aggressive moves. Message arrived simultaneously at every communication center on Earth and the Vera fleet, a voice that seemed to speak directly into the mind of each listener. We are the Luminari. We have watched this world since the first stirring of life. We seeded the Starlight gene in your distant ancestors. We have come to claim what is ours. Kate stood with Nylara and General Foster in the Vera command center, staring at the holographic display of the Luminari fleet. The crystalline ships had arranged themselves in a perfect geometric pattern surrounding Earth at equal distances. The Luminari claims make no sense, Foster argued. How could they have seeded genes in humans millions of years ago? Nylara's skin rippled with patterns Kate had never seen before, indicating extreme distress. There are legends among my people. The Luminari were thought to be myths, ancient beings who traveled the universe before the Vera achieved spaceflight. They were said to manipulate evolution itself, guiding species towards specific traits. If the legends are true, why appear now? Kate asked. Because of you, Nylara said. Your activation of the gene at such magnitude must have sent ripples through space. A signal they detected. The main communication screen activated, showing a being unlike any Kate had seen. Its form was vaguely humanoid but composed of shifting light rather than solid matter. Its voice resonated directly in their minds. I am Zara, of the Luminari Elder Council. We have observed the recent events with interest. The humans display remarkable adaptation. The one called Kate Miller has achieved in days what most species require centuries to develop. Kate stepped forward, feeling drawn to address this ancient being. What do you want with us? The Luminari representative seemed to study her. The gene you carry was placed in your ancestral line for a purpose. When your species reached sufficient advancement, we would return to guide your final evolution. You were to become like us, beings of energy and thought, rather than flesh. Nylara moved beside Kate. The Vera have protected. The gene carriers, we have studied and nurtured them for generations. The luminary shifted colors in what might have been amusement. You have preserved what you do not understand. The gene is but the first stage of transformation. The humans are ready to progress beyond their physical limitations. General Foster stepped forward, her voice firm. Our people will make their own choices about their future. We do not recognize your claim to humanity. Zara's form brightened. You misunderstand. We do not come to conquer, but to elevate. Those who carry the gene have the potential to transcend physical form, to join the luminary collective. A gift beyond measure. Kate felt something strange as the luminary spoke. A yearning, a pull towards something greater. She could sense the vast consciousness behind Zara's words. Millions of minds joined in harmony across time and space. She shook her head, trying to clear it. No. We are not ready for whatever you're offering. Humanity is still young. Still learning who we are. The luminary dimmed slightly. Your resistance is expected but unnecessary. We have guided many species through this transition. Those who carry the gene will understand when we share the full truth with them. The screen deactivated, leaving them. Intense silence. Nylara turned to Kate. The luminary are dangerous. Not in the way the Draconians are, but perhaps more so. They believe absolutely in their purpose. They see themselves as shepherds of evolution. Kate paced the command center. I felt something when it spoke, a connection, like it was calling to something inside me that is concerning. Nylara said, the legends speak of the luminary ability to influence minds, particularly those with specific genetic markers. General Foster contacted Earth governments relaying the luminary claims. World leaders responded with a mixture of fear, fascination, and skepticism. Some saw opportunity in the luminary offer of transcendence. Others feared it was merely another form of conquest. That night, Kate slept fitfully. Her dreams filled with visions of becoming pure energy, floating among stars, experiencing the universe directly without the limitations of a physical body. She woke gasping, sitting upright in her quarters aboard the Vera ship. A soft light filled the room. Kate realized with shock that she was not alone. Zara, the luminary representative, stood at the foot of her bed. The being's form glowing gently. Do not fear, Kate Miller. We mean no harm. The luminary's voice was gentler, more intimate in person. How did you get here? Kate demanded. The Vera shields. Such barriers mean little to us. We exist partially beyond physical space. Kate stood, keeping distance between them. What do you want? To show you your potential. The being extended what might have been a hand. See what awaits you? Before Kate could respond, the touch of light connected with her mind, and she saw images flooded her consciousness. Humans evolving over millions of years. The luminary guiding, subtly introducing the gene at key moments. The purpose not conquest but ascension. Helping physical beings transcend into energy forms, joining a vast community, spanning galaxies. When the vision ended, Kate found herself on her knees, tears streaming down her face. The beauty of what she had seen overwhelming her. Now you understand, Zara said. We offer evolution, not extinction. The next step in your species' journey. Kate shook her head, fighting through the emotional impact of the vision. It was manipulation. Beautiful, but still manipulation. Showing me only what you want me to see. The luminary seemed to sigh, a ripple of color moving through its form. Your species hesitates at the threshold of greatness. We have guided many others. The Vera themselves were once candidates, but they feared change clung to physical form. Now they seek to keep others from ascending jealously, guarding what they rejected. The accusation shocked Kate. She had come to trust Nylara. Is that true? The luminary moved closer. If you join us, you could lead your people. Kate Miller. The first human to transcend physical form. A bridge between worlds. Kate backed away. I need time. This is too much. The being faded slightly. Take the time you need, but know that we will not depart. We have waited millions of years for humanity to reach this point. We can wait longer. When the luminary vanished, Kate immediately contacted Nylara. The Vera commander arrived minutes later, her skin pulsing with concern. Is it true? Kate demanded. Were the Vera offered ascension by the luminary? Did you reject it? Nylara was silent for a long moment. Yes. Our ancestors were approached 3,000 years ago. The luminary offered transcendence. We chose to remain physical. Why? Kate pressed. Why reject it? I saw what they offer. It's beautiful. Nylara moved to the viewport, gazing at the stars. What they showed you was partial truth. The ascension process requires surrendering individuality, Kate. The luminary are not millions of separate beings. They are one consciousness with fragments. That is the price of transcendence. Kate considered this, remembering the vast collective mind she had sensed. So we would cease to be human, cease to be individuals. Yes, Nylara confirmed. You would contribute your uniqueness to their gestalt, consciousness. Your memories, experiences, personality would persist, but as part of their whole, not separate. Not truly you anymore. Over the following days, the luminary broadcast their message worldwide, appearing simultaneously in every communication device, offering transcendence to humanity. Thousands with the Starlight gene reported dreams and visions, the luminary showing them glimpses of ascension. Governments struggled to respond. Religious leaders declared the luminary either angels or demons. Scientists demanded access to their technology. Ordinary people looked to the crystal ships with wonder or terror. The Vira fleet maintained their defensive position, but even they recognized they could not prevent the luminary from communicating with humans. The ancient beings simply ignored physical barriers. Kate found herself at the center of the growing crisis. She had experienced both the luminary vision and understood the Vira warning. She spent hours in meditation trying to sort through her feelings about what humanity should choose. A week after their arrival, the luminary requested a formal meeting with Earth leaders. The Vira and representatives from major governments gathered at a neutral location, a space station in orbit. Kate attended as both human representative, and because of her unique perspective, the luminary sent 3 representatives, their light forms shifting and blending as they communicated. We offer humanity a choice. Zara spoke. Those with the gene may choose ascension now, joining the luminary collective. Those without may continue their physical existence until such time as the gene spreads to all humans. General Foster, representing Earth, asked the critical question, if we reject your offer, will you leave peacefully? The luminary representatives conferred silently. We would leave, but we would return when humanity is ready. Perhaps in another 1,000 years, the gene will continue to spread naturally. You cannot undo what was started millions of years ago. Kate stepped forward. I have a question. If humans choose to join you, what becomes of our world, our culture, our history? The luminary brightened. Those who ascend bring all knowledge, all experience into the collective. Nothing is lost merely. Transformed physical artifacts would remain. Your civilization would continue, though changed by the absence of gene carriers. And if we asked you to remove the gene from humans, Kate pressed, could you undo what you started? For the first time, the luminary seemed surprised. The question is unexpected. It is possible, but would alter your evolutionary path significantly. Is that truly what humanity would wish? Kate looked at the assembled representatives of Earth. From their expressions, she could tell they were as divided as she felt. Humanity stood at a crossroads, facing a choice that would define their species forever. The debate raged across Earth for weeks. The luminary remained in orbit, patient as only immortal energy beings could be. They made no threats, issued no ultimatums. They simply waited for humanity to decide. Kate spent her days meeting with world leaders, scientists, religious figures, and ordinary people with the gene. Her unique position as both military officer and the first human to fully activate the Starlight gene made her opinion highly valued. She also continued training with Nylara, her abilities growing stronger each day. She could now communicate telepathically with other gene carriers, forming a network of minds across the planet. This connection helped them share experiences and perspectives about the luminary offer during a global summit held in Geneva. Kate stood before representatives from every nation. Her role not to decide for humanity but to present what she had learned. The luminary offer is genuine, she explained. They truly believe ascension is a gift. The transcendence they offer would mean the end of physical suffering, the beginning of near immortality as energy beings, but it would also mean the end of human individuality as we understand it. Those who ascend would join a collective consciousness. Their memories and experiences would continue, but their separate identities would merge with the greater whole. A representative from India leaned forward. But you have experienced their consciousness. What did you feel? Was it imprisonment or freedom? Kate considered. Carefully, I felt both boundless joy and the loss of self. It was beautiful, terrifying, and peaceful all at once. I cannot tell you if it is right for humanity. That is something each person with the gene must decide for themselves. The summit concluded. With a revolutionary proposal, humanity would neither fully accept nor reject the luminary offer. Instead, each person with the Starlight gene would be given the choice individually, whether to ascend or remain human. The luminary accepted this compromise. They would stay in orbit for 1 Earth year, allowing those with active genes to make their decision. After gene carriers had chosen, the luminary would depart, returning in 100 years to offer the same choice to the next generation. During this year of decision, Kate worked with both Vera and human scientists to develop methods for activating the gene safely without the dangerous resonance chamber. She also created a school to help new gene carriers understand and control their abilities. The Draconians, true to Nylara's prediction, returned 6 months later, their fleet larger than before. But this time, Earth was prepared. Combined Vera and human defenses supplemented by a network of psychically linked gene carriers repelled the attack. Kate led the defense, her abilities now far beyond what they had been during the first encounter. She could coordinate hundreds of minds simultaneously, creating a psychic shield that disrupted draconian weapons and communication. The invaders retreated, suffering heavy losses. As the year progressed, approximately 5,000 humans with fully activated genes chose ascension. They gathered at designated sites worldwide, where luminary representatives guided them through the transformation. Kate witnessed the process several times. The humans' bodies dissolved into pure energy, their consciousness transferring to the luminary collective. For those watching, it appeared as a beautiful transformation, the person becoming increasingly luminous, until they simply transformed into light that rose toward the luminary ships. Each ascension strengthened the collective. Kate could feel the growing presence of human consciousness within the luminary, changing them even as humans were changed. The exchange was not one way. Human perspectives, experiences, and emotions were altering the ancient beings, bringing new vitality to their existence. 15,000 gene carriers chose to remain physical, including Kate, when the luminary representative, Zara, asked her final decision. Kate smiled. I am not ready. Perhaps I never will be. I choose to remain human, to help guide others, to prepare Earth for whatever comes next. Zara's form brightened with what seemed like approval. Your choice is respected, Kate Miller. You have shown wisdom beyond your years. The humans who joined us have already enriched our collective. Their unique perspective was indeed worth waiting millions of years to incorporate. The day the luminary departed, Earth celebrated both what was gained and what was lost. Those who ascended were mourned by family and friends, yet their transformation was also viewed with wonder. The remaining gene carriers, 15,000 humans with extraordinary abilities, faced the challenge of finding their place in society. Kate stood with Nylara, watching the crystalline ships disappear into the depths of space. Do you think they were right? She asked. Was ascension the ultimate destiny they claimed? Nylara's skin rippled with thoughtful patterns. Perhaps for some, that is the beauty of choice. Kate, each species, each individual must find their own path. The Vera chose physical existence with all its limitations and joys. You have chosen the same for now, and the Draconians. Kate asked. Will they return? Undoubtedly, Nylara said. But Earth is stronger now. The alliance between our peoples, the growing number of gene carriers. Your world is no longer an easy target. In the years that followed, Kate established the Earth Defense Network, a global organization of gene carriers dedicated to protecting humanity. Nylara remained as ambassador between Earth and the Vera Empire, the two species sharing technology, culture, and knowledge. The Starlight gene continued to spread, appearing in approximately 1 in 10,000 newborns worldwide. Each child with the gene was identified early and offered training to control their abilities. Each was given the choice when they reached adulthood, whether to develop their gifts or suppress them. Kate never regretted her decision to remain human. She found purpose in guiding the next generation, teaching them to use their abilities responsibly. She formed deep connections with both humans and Vera, building bridges between worlds. One evening, 10 years after the Luminary departure, Kate stood on the balcony of the Defense Network headquarters in Colorado. The setting sun painted the sky in brilliant colors behind the mountains. A presence joined her, Nylara, the Vera commander, who had become her closest friend. The Vera scientist believes the gene has evolved again, Nylara said, her skin glowing softly in the twilight. The newest generation shows capabilities beyond what we have seen before. Kate nodded. I have sensed it. The children born with the gene now can do things even I cannot. Their minds seem to operate on a different level. Do you ever wonder, Nylara asked, what might have happened if you had chosen ascension? Kate smiled, looking up at the first stars appearing in the darkening sky. Sometimes, but I have never doubted my choice. The human journey is just beginning. The Luminary offered one path, but there are others. Perhaps someday humans will find a way to transcend physical form without losing individuality. A true evolution rather than absorption. Nylara made the bell-like sound of Vera laughter. You humans always seeking another way, always believing in possibilities. That is why my people have come to admire yours. A message appeared in Kate's mind from one of her students at the Academy. Satellites had detected unusual activity at the edge of the solar system, neither draconian nor luminary. Something new. Kate sighed. Another day, another challenge. Shall we see what the universe has brought us this time? Nylara nodded, her skin shifting to the blue of anticipation. Indeed. The story of your species continues to unfold in unexpected ways as they turn to face whatever new discovery awaited them. Kate felt a profound sense of gratitude. She had been given extraordinary gifts and impossible choices. She had seen the best and worst of both human and alien nature. Through it all, she had remained human, finding strength in connections with others, rather than transcending humanity. She had helped define it. The stars above seemed to shine brighter, as if acknowledging that somewhere among them, former humans now part of the Luminary watched over their homeworld. Perhaps in 100 years, when the crystal ships returned, Kate would make a different choice. Or perhaps humanity would have found its own path to the stars by then. For now she was content with the choice she had made to remain among her people, to face each new challenge as it came, to be human with all the limitations and infinite possibilities that entailed. The universe was vast and humanity was young. Their story was just beginning.